I'm going to do this video for Flipnout's 100 subscriber contest. Sorry about the blank wall in front of me. I'm about to put some books up there, but I don't have anything up there just yet. The rules for his contest are you got to be 18 or over to enter, you got to be subscribed to his channel, and you got to live in either the US or Canada. So check, check, and check. And the idea behind it is to show 5 books that you would take with you on a desert island. I'm going to assume that you'd be like alone on that island with nothing to do but read. So he showed like 5 single issues of comics, but I'm going to show 5 collections, and I hope that's cool. I'll let you decide whether it is or not. You did say books and not comics, so I'm just gonna go with what I got. I saw Metarog's entry for this contest as well, which I thought was kind of interesting, his approach to it. I'm going to take a different approach. I'm going to kind of accept my fate and just go out happy reading some books that I love. So, to start with, we got The Big Bone. Let's see if we can move this down a little bit. There we go. Alright, now this, as you can see, is massive. This collects the entire volume of Jeff Smith's Bone. It's one of the comics that I really love from the, early to mid-90s to whenever it finally ended. It ran, I think, 56 issues or something like that, 55, 56. I can't remember exactly, but it was really good. You got these little cartoon guys get lost in this, they get run out of town where they live, and they get lost in this hidden valley where there are these monsters and these people, and they get kind of involved in this. It kind of turns into this epic fantasy story. But it's really great. I love it, and this would, being lost on a deserted island, would finally give me a chance to like reread it, the entire thing. Which I've always been meaning to do, but haven't gotten around to yet. Next up, got a classic All-Star Superman by Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely. This is probably, in my opinion, it's like the single best Superman story ever. It's not like, it kind of is one coherent story, but it's got a whole bunch of different stories in it. And it's really, really good. I really love it. Superman Red Sun is almost as good as this, but this is just a little bit better. Next, at The Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck. I love this book. This is basically the life story of Scrooge McDuck from his childhood in Scotland back in, the 1870s or 60s or something like that. Up until, I don't know, the 1930s or whenever he finally meets the adult version of Donald Duck and his nephews Huey, Dewey, and Louie. And it's got all these adventures in between where he's making his fortune and meeting all these famous people. It's like Forrest Gump, except it's really, really good. Sorry, I never really cared for Forrest Gump. Fourth, got Dave Sims' High Society. This is the second Cerebus phone book. It collects, I want to say it's issues 26 to 50. It's got this really beautiful cover. Kind of spans the entire thing. And this book is great. It's sort of like at the end of the first volume, he's basically got a bag of gold and nothing else, so he kind of just goes to this hotel in this town, and all these people start trying to like kiss up to him, and he doesn't really understand what's going on. He doesn't realize that he's been kind of inducted into the high society of this in this world because he used to work for Lord Julius, who's kind of a Groucho Marx pastiche. And in the story, he gets sort of drawn into running for prime minister. And probably one of the best single issues is the election night issue, where like the vote tallies keep going back and forth. I think he's doing his campaigns here. And then once, I guess this is a spoiler for a book that's like almost 40 years old, but he does win by the skin of his teeth, even though he's running against a goat, like a literal goat, who's just really is Lord Julius has just put up this goat to run against him, and basically if he wins, Lord Julius will sort of own the city-state where he's running. And then once he becomes prime minister, he kind of encounters all these challenges, like the economy starts tanking, and so he invades a neighboring country to kind of do what Saddam Hussein did to Kuwait and jack up all their wealth, only to discover that they're completely broke too, so now he can't pay his army, and then he gets invaded from the outside. It's just really odd. It's a really great story. It's one of my favorites. And finally, I would bring From Hell by Alan Moore and Eddie Campbell. And this, I think, this kind of story about Jack the Ripper, which if you've seen the movie version, is really nothing like that at all. This is much darker and more serious and more realistic, except for all the like vision stuff. But it's really cool, and ultimately I think it would put me in the right frame of mind to sort of become a sunbaked, desiccated corpse on a desert island. So that's my entry, and I hope y'all enjoyed. And congratulations to Flipping Out on 100 subs. I hope to get there myself one day. So y'all take it easy.